Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Fun Sons in the Slam Dungeon, and welcome to part 2 of the Bloodletting special. Now, I'm just going to jump right into it. If you haven't listened to part 1 yet, please go do so now. Fuck it, I'll wait. Fuck. Okay, that's plenty of time to listen to episode 1 of the Bloodletting special. Let's get right into it. But I want to address something really quick that I've noticed while editing this episode. There is popping noises in previous episodes, and they sound a lot like this. That is me accidentally kicking the cords of the microphone. I will not do that anymore, I promise, because those take away from the overall experience. Never again. And also, the audio is a little shitty at the beginning, but it kind of evens itself out, so apologize for all the technical difficulties, but let's jump right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Disen-Doom. Hey guys, what's up? Fun Sons in the Slam Dungeon. This is part 2 of the Bloodletting special that we got. Right now, we have Disen-Doom. Sorry about the train, but we got Disen-Doom. We're hanging out in the RV. What's going on, guys?
G'day, how's it going?
What up?
We just finished Denver, so on a bit of a high. Definitely, it was a sick crowd.
How was it?
Awesome. That was definitely the best show of the tour.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How was that comparable to your first time at Denver?
We've always had good crowds in Denver, but I know tonight seemed pretty sick. It was just a crushing vibe.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty sick. Be able to headline that and play with some fucking cool bands.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah. So, speaking of the Bloodletting, this is kind of like your album release tour over here, correct?
Yep.
Did you guys put together the lineup? Were you like, hey, you guys should be on this tour? Or was it Unique Leader that did it?
Oh, that was all Unique Leader that took care of that.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't really have anything to do with what other bands were on it, but luckily all the bands that are on it are sick cunts. We've toured with Visceral Disgorge and Signs of the Swarm before, so
yes.
we're already good mates with those guys.
Mm-hmm. So, why the long wait between Misery and Decaying Light?
I think that's I don't know, it got away from us, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
I think we all just have we all have lives outside of the band as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Just
So we were just
kinda
busy with doing shit.
Yeah, just kind of busy with life, and
Yeah.
you know, that's
And we were touring a
understandable.
bunch as well, and we just didn't feel like we had to rush anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, like we didn't have to.
I mean, the wait was worth it.
Yeah.
Like, that album is fucking sick.
After Misery came out, like over those 4 years, we were touring about 4 or 5 months of the year.
Okay.
So, you know, when you're away for that long, it is difficult when you're balancing it with everything else. So
Yeah.
it just, like, we definitely won't let that happen again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just circumstance. But you know, with the overall product, we're pretty stoked with it.
Yeah, definitely.
In the end,
It definitely shows. So I like to ask this question with every regional band we get on this show. What's the music scene like in Australia? Is it just kind of one big scene, or is it like kind of the States where it's like, you know, there's a Colorado scene, there's California scene?
I would say Australia's just. Oh, I guess every city is pretty different. Like the Brisbane scene's more of a
like
grim goat
yeah.
sort of scene, like with bands like Portal, Impetuous Ritual, Astrial, a lot of black metal and stuff like that. Sydney has a lot of grind.
Okay.
And Melbourne's just.
Melbourne's got a mix of everything. So
Yeah.
but there's a lot of sick bands coming out of Australia. Like
Yeah.
they have been for 15 years, whatever.
Oh yeah.
But I know it seems like Australian metal scene is on a high. Because even like not very underground bands, but like Parkway Drive and The Art Is Murder.
Oh yeah.
That sort of thing. Like the scene's pretty big.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of sick underground shit too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now I know this isn't your first time over here, because you know, like you said, you've toured over here with Visceral Disgorge before, Signs of the Swarm. Did you guys run into any issues coming over here before this tour?
Yeah, we had. Well, I wouldn't say issues, just timing with our work visas. It's just a gigantic fuck around in order to get those work visas sorted out and get everything approved. But in the end, we made it. And there were no dramas.
They arrived. They arrived a few days before we had to leave, so
Oh, really?
it's cutting it pretty tight.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
So I've told the same question to Mental Cruelty. We've had them on the show just a few hours ago. But all of the bands have released an album on the Bloodletting tour. They've all released albums this year. Which one is your favorite? I know that's a hard question. Don't mean to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
But
I'd say Visceral Disgorge.
Visceral Disgorge?
Just the way they do slam.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're not basic. They've got riffs.
Oh, yeah.
And the new stuff has got more blasting, so...
Yeah, and it's got more rhythm, too.
Yeah, definitely. So I'd probably say that's the one we've been jamming on this tour.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'd go with Visceral Disgorge as well.
Disgorge.
Those dudes are sick.
Yeah, they Mental Cruelty said they all said the new Signs of the Swarm. They all said that was their favorite to come from this tour.
Yeah, sick.
So you guys have been touring for quite a bit, right? For quite a long time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Guys, got any funny stories that you ran into during tour?
Every day is pretty funny, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we enjoy about touring is the four of us are just super good friends.
Mm-hmm.
So every day, like, just even the most mundane situations end up being
super hilarious.
fucking hilarious to us because we just make our own fun.
What's a story that stands out then?
We got pulled over by the DEA.
Yikes.
Yeah, that was pretty scary. Getting woken up with like machine guns and shit.
Whoa.
Yeah, we were on the way into St. Louis. We were driving the RV, and this blacked out car pulled us over. And there was like a few of them, dogs and shit. Just tore our RV upside down. It was like pretty scary.
Was that on this tour?
No, that was in 2016 when we toured with Black Dahlia in Fallujah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's one that kind of stands out. That
Could imagine.
you know,
Yeah, that
from
was,
my mind.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
Yeah.
Really, I really want to know is, have you guys started to write anything or have any ideas after The Decaying Light?
Yeah, we've started writing a fair bit. Hey.
Yeah, I'd say the next album's over half written.
Really?
Yeah, we definitely have a solid vision of the direction that we want the music to go in.
Totally.
Yeah.
That sounds sick.
So it's coming together pretty quickly, like a lot more quickly than what The Decaying Light
Yeah,
was.
definitely.
So, tell me, how did you guys come up with the name Disen-Doom?
It's a Disgorge song. Yeah, it's a song off Disgorge's 1992 demo.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
We Lord Disgorge.
Yeah, this band.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
They were like definitely the main influence for us to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fucking
Speaking of influences, what would you guys say your other influences are? Disgorge being one of them.
In terms of a vocal influence, mine's just strictly pretty much two Disgorge vocalists. So yeah, not very wide ranging. But yeah, Matty
Still.
Way and AJ Magana.
Okay.
But in
Okay.
terms of the music, it's obviously a little bit more sporadic with influences.
Yeah. I guess I listen to heaps and heaps of different music, like not just metal.
Okay.
So I like to take a little bit of influence from everything I listen to and put it into what we write. But as for metal, I've fucking always loved Immolation,
Oh, hell
Gorguts,
Oh yeah.
bands like that. Just bands with weird riffs.
Yeah. For sure. Now, I don't mean to say this to offend you or anything,
Yeah.
Sounds offensive.
but have you ever played Doom?
The game Doom.
The game.
Dude,
Yeah,
look
yeah.
like the Doom dude.
Yeah,
Oh,
he does look
a
like the
compliment.
Doom guy.
yeah, that's actually pretty sick.
I mean, especially when you're up on stage,
I've
and
never
you're
gotten that before.
really.
No.
I can see
Wow.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What video game character
Just a
do
box
I look
head, dude.
Is
that?
like? What video game character do I look like?
Fuck, man, I don't think they've...
Peach.
Peach.
With,
Mario Brothers.
with curly hair,
Beautiful hair. Yep,
Beautiful
princess.
eyes. Beautiful everything.
Well, I mean, is he the damsel in distress always?
Yeah, he's always on the go.
Oh, man.
Damn. You can't stop me.
No, but yeah, no one's ever fucking...
Wow, that's
Just-
interesting.
It's the box head, I think.
Wait, well, it's the face, and also when you're up on stage and you're making this face.
like a full-on grimace.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I
You've only
don't
got
know.
30% left.
Yeah.
Okay, out of all 3 of your albums,
Yeah.
which one is your favorite?
Like, look, okay, so you're going down the street and, like, you know, someone recognizes you. It's like, hey, you're in that band, Disen-Doom. I've never heard your shit. What album should I listen to? Like, what would you say is the quintessential Disen-Doom?
In order of, if you're going to listen to all 3 of your albums front to back, which one should you start with and which one should you end with?
That's a good question.
It's difficult. It all depends on
But
what type of music you like.
I'm pretty sure, like, in terms of my recommendations, they would be The Decaying Light, Misery, and Sunken Chambers.
So just kind of all the way back.
Yeah, because I think the progression of where we are now is just, you know, we've always been writing music that we think is sick, but I'm the most proud of what we've done on The Decaying Light. So I would recommend that. But, you know, there's going to be definitely dudes who are into Brodequin and, like, you know, sick as fuck brutal death metal bands that, you know, would definitely prefer Sunken Chambers and Nephilim rather than what we're putting out now.
Right, yeah.
So,
So who does your album cover art? Because it's always interesting to see that kind of shit.
It's a dude from New Zealand. His name's Nick Keller.
Okay.
He does concept art for movies and shit as well.
Yeah, he's done, like, The Hobbit and...
Has he done all your artwork?
Just the last 2.
Just the last 2?
Misery.
Yeah.
And Decaying Light.
Yeah, there's a Italian dude named Marco Hasman who did our first one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Since we're on the subject of cover arts, what's your favorite cover arts of all time? Sorry to put you on the spot, man.
No, that's a good question.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
I reckon Formula's Fatal to the Flesh. Maybe it's because it's a nostalgia thing, but that album I just reckon looks so badass. And it's like that he, I don't know,
Yeah,
just
I know.
flames and shit. It's like, it definitely looks 90s.
Yeah.
I reckon it's fucking sick.
Yeah, fuck, I don't know. That is a topic.
There's a lot of them. Like I said, I'm so sorry to put you on the spot like that.
Yeah.
Psychroptic Symbols of Failure.
Oh,
Yeah. Always loved that one.
That's by, fuck, I forget, but yeah, that's a sick
Pyro
album.
loves him.
yeah.
Who?
Pyro loves him.
Yeah, that's it.
That dude is a legendary artist. Like,
Yeah.
Actually, Disgorge Cranial Empowerment, I
Okay.
reckon is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's just
Just the
fucking-
colours and shit.
All right, so if you were to tour with any band in the world, I'm pretty sure I know what you're gonna say. Disgorge.
Yeah.
If you were able to tour with, who would it be? You can say Disgorge. It doesn't matter.
1996 Morbid Angel.
Oh,
Oh,
so
okay.
is that? I don't think Tucker was even in there yet, man.
Was he?
Nah. You
1999.
ECW David Vincent. That's who you wanted to.
BDSM Morbid Angel.
Yeah.
Okay, 99 Morbid Angel.
There you go.
What about you?
I'd go 2019 Immolation.
Yeah.
I want to tour with Immolation now. They'd be fucking sick.
Yeah, they're actually about to come through real soon, I think, with
Yeah, they're into it now.
Blood Incantation,
Yeah.
I
another
saw that.
Colorado local band.
Yeah.
So
I didn't realise they're from Colorado.
yeah, they are. They are. What's one show that you guys have been to? I'm pretty sure you guys go to a lot of concerts too. What's one that really sticks out to you that you wish you could relive?
Man, just a few days ago I saw Immolation in Brisbane. And
Okay.
that was the best band I've ever seen, like the best set of any band I've ever seen.
Okay.
It was fucking crushing.
Oh, yeah.
I would probably go Defeated Sanity when we saw them.
Yeah.
Mountains of Death 2011 with AJ Magana from Disgorge doing guest vocals. and it
Holy
was
shit.
all 3 vocalists.
Yeah,
It was
Jens
just,
as well.
yeah,
That sounds fucking
that
nuts.
was like mind blowing.
Jesus.
Especially
Christ.
in that setting as well. In like the Swiss Alps, just watching them in this like outdoor venue with fucking beautiful mountains and shit everywhere.
Yeah, we,
And just this disgusting music.
Over here, it's not in this state. It's up north more in Wyoming. There's like a big black metal festival that happens there every year.
Yeah, right.
And it's the same thing. You got the mountains there, and there's like bonfires and stuff like that. It's called Fire on the Mountains.
Yeah.
And it's usually like early summer, like where it's not too hot, and people camp out there, stuff like that. That kind of sounds a little bit similar.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Fire on
Yeah,
the
this one was a
Mountains.
camping one as well.
Okay.
It was like, yeah, sick.
Oh yeah.
No fires at this one though, but plenty of mountains.
So, there's definitely a lot of different like metal genres out there. What's one that you're not a particular fan of?
I can't get into power metal. I just
Power
can't
metal?
do it.
No. I get it. It's the fucking, the fucking buff dudes on the covers and holding swords and shit with long flowy hair.
There's some songs that do stick out, but I just, I can't really get into it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really like real techie, proggy, nice sound and stuff.
Yeah.
Personally.
Where it's just too fucking complex and all over the goddamn place.
Yeah, I just feel like it's more about what you can do rather than what it sounds like.
Mm-hmm. So, let's talk gear for a minute. Does gear change from when you're in the studio is when you're on the road touring? You guys try to keep the equipment same so it sounds exactly like the CDs, or?
Well, pretty much. But we're super basic when it comes to like our equipment. Like, I just plug straight into the front of an amplifier.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like pretty easy to recreate our sounds. We're not doing anything too special with like fucking
right. Yeah, you're not
effects
using
and
any
stuff like that.
weird pedals or anything like that.
But like we always just use like 6505s, triple Rex, shit like that on our. I think that's what we used on the Decaying Light. It was 5150 triple Rec, and then 2 solid states blended in as well.
Okay.
So, so on this one I'm just using 2 6505s.
Okay.
So it sounds very similar to the other.
Yeah. Now Jordan.
Yep.
Last time you guys were here, that was, God, what was that?
It's 2017.
Yeah.
I think.
No, we were here last year in May with the boarded.
Oh, that was last year.
Yeah.
Devastation. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. I think it was that one.
It was.
Yeah, it was. It was. Now that I think about it. Me and my friend Colin came up to you and asked you if you wanted to kiss belly buttons.
I do remember that. Yeah.
You do remember that.
I do.
You do remember that.
It doesn't happen too often, so.
So
yeah, I do remember that.
you saw the opportunity. You're like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's kiss belly buttons.
Man, there wouldn't be too
really
many
did
people
that?
I would do that for. I did do that.
Okay.
It was a long passionate kiss of belly buttons.
Yeah, and he was looking
No time.
like
It was a three-way,
A little bit of
three-way
tongue.
belly button kiss.
Yeah, I do remember that though. Yeah.
wow.
There's photos of it, hey.
Uh-huh.
There is
Yeah.
a photo of it.
Yeah.
I think I put it up on my Facebook profile pic for a little bit, and I think my buddy Colin, I think he might have sent it to you because I think he's
Yeah,
friends with you
I
on
remember
Facebook.
seeing that, yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to see if you remembered that or not.
Yeah,
But
no, certainly do.
I mean, you never forget, just 2 sweaty dudes coming up to you, hey, let's kiss belly buttons.
Yeah, man. That's going to stick in my mind for a while.
Does it keep you up at night? I'm just kidding.
In a good way. Yeah.
In a good way. Okay. So, were you guys always signed on to Unique Leader, or was there another label you were signed on to before?
We've released every single album through a different label.
Okay.
So the first album, Sunken Chambers and Nephilim, came out through a Japanese label called Amputated Vein Records.
Okay.
The second one was with New Standard Elite. And then, we decided to go with Unique Leader for this one.
Okay.
For the Decaying Light, so, yeah.
They're not leaving. So, since you guys did this new record with Unique Leaders, is there a contract with them, or is just just one album with them?
We decided we wanted to just do one album.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the next album, you guys looking into new labels, or?
To be honest, man, that's like the, I would say, the last thing we think about
Yeah.
Right.
when it comes to an album. Like,
We're going to write the album and then probably record it ourselves and.
yeah.
Now, have you guys? Do you guys record in an actual studio, or do you guys have home studios, or?
We do a mixture of both. The drums were recorded in a studio.
Okay.
The guitars were just recorded at home.
Okay.
But yeah, so we do.
And then
mix it up.
probably vocals in a studio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So, what brought you guys together as Disen-Doom? Like, what made you guys decide, like, hey, let's make a band?
We were pretty much, Jake and I have been friends since we were like 6 and 7. Grew up in a small town together of like 3,000 people.
Friends.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then Henry moved to our town, this super small town, when he was like 15, and he was already into death metal. And at that point, Jake and I had been getting into death metal a little bit at the same time. We both had older brothers that were into it. And when we met Henry, he was like learning to play drums, and Jake had been learning to play guitar for a few years. And I can't do anything, so I didn't. So I made stupid noises with my mouth. But that's pretty much how it's like come together. And then it was under a different name then. But
what was the name back then, if you don't mind sharing?
Cadaverin.
Okay.
Yeah, Cadaverin. And it had a few other members, and then we sort of just wanted to write something heavier, and it turned into Disen-Doom with just the 3 of us.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
So it's been the same lineup of you guys, like ever since it started, though?
No, we used to have a different bassist. He played on the first album.
Oh, okay.
And then it's just been kind of constant since the first album, basically.
And then we had Jim Parker on Misery.
Okay.
Yeah, and now Adrian's come on for this one, yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Definitely feels complete with Adrian on bass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he adds a lot to the music.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I can agree with that.
I got one last question that I could think of. If you guys could build your own show, like build your own tour or whatever, what bands would you have on it, including yourselves? Like name
Discord.
3 or 4 other bands that you'd be down to tour with.
I would make it like a festival where it's not just metal.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
I'd go
Okay.
DJ Scooter.
Oh, hell yeah.
Jeez, I don't know who else.
Mine would be Disgorge, Crystal Castles, and Pro Morbid Angel. Yeah.
We'd go Immolation, DJ Scooter, and Reincarnated Frank Zappa.
Okay.
Mm.
All right.
What a lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
That's a fucking
What do you reckon
lineup.
Frank Zappa's guarantee would be?
Jesus.
Like a revived.
Revived.
It'd be pretty expensive though.
$1,200.
Yeah, $1,200.
I bet he would even be like,
It'd probably be like that because he'd be a zombie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
A zombie Frank Zappa.
Hologram.
Yeah.
So in a roundabout way, a pretty like sort of messed up.
Well, I mean,
festival.
if it was a hologram, he'd just be like, well, I don't fucking need money. I'm just a fucking hologram, nigga.
Yeah, I'm not going
Like-
to pay a fucking hologram. That's lunacy, man. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be it. Yeah.
Lovely.
So, last question I have for you guys before we wrap this up. What is the weirdest venue you guys have played?
Weirdest venue. We've played... this one in Salt Lake City with on the Black Dahlia murder and Fallujah tour is like fucking garden shed, basically.
Yeah.
But it was sick.
It was one of the sickest shows on that tour.
Yeah.
But it was like, yeah, in this weird...
It wasn't
Garden
shitty, it was
shed's one of
just
the best
strange,
Just
yeah.
super small, or
Yeah, like
Yeah?
tiny. Like it's... You'd never know it was a venue looking at it from the
do you
street.
remember what it was called?
Kilby Court.
Yeah, Kilby Court. It
Yep.
was fucking cool.
Huh.
Hopefully play there again.
That, or we played like a German dungeon. Do you remember that in 2016 with Visceral?
In Leipzig.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fucking
Yeah,
sick.
like this fucking... It was like underground sort of ancient bunker.
Bunker
like
type thing, yeah.
Yeah, a few hundred years old, so...
Holy shit.
Really?
That was,
Where's
yeah,
that at?
that was pretty sick. Leipzig.
Yeah,
The city of
Leipzig.
Leipzig. But, yeah. I don't remember what the venue's name was, but that's pretty crazy. Yeah.
I actually got one more question.
Yep.
One more question before we wrap this up. Was there any altercations? Hello.
Yeah.
Was there any altercations with venue security or anything that kind of rubbed you guys the wrong way? For instance, like no moshing, or you can't do this, or
Oh, yeah, there's nerds everywhere. But
there's not really
Just
anything we
changed.
can do about it. You know, we're
Right.
playing the venue, we're the guests, so it's like,
But
you know,
what
if
was,
they have that.
what was one instance that was like, okay, that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah, I guess when like you have venues that aren't used to, you know, metal bands, you get security that are a little bit standoffish. They don't understand what's going on, that no one's being hurt.
Right.
So
There hasn't really
we-
been any instances that I can think of.
Because
where people are
it's
getting fucked
it's
up or anything.
probably their first metal show working security,
Yeah.
you know, and they don't know what to expect, you know,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
like all of a sudden just like people just start pushing each other and they're just
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is this?
Thankfully, those are very few and far between.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, definitely. Well, guys, we're gonna wrap this up now, so you guys can get on the road to your next show. Thank you guys so much for taking your time, answering some of our questions, and we'll see you guys next time. All right, that was the Bloodletting 2-part special, ladies and gentlemen. The Bloodletting tour is still going on as of this recording, so if you're listening in the States, please go support the other bands. Organectomy also made it into the States, so please go support them, buy some merch from all of the bands, really. Next week, we have another special episode for you guys. It's Cage's birthday, and it's going to be a mystery on what we're going to do. Cage doesn't know what we're going to do, but I do. So be sure to check that out next week. It's going to be fun. It's going to give everybody anxiety. I will say that. But thanks again, everybody, for supporting this podcast. I had a lot of people come up to me. I had a lot of people coming up to me during the Bloodletting set, telling me they support the podcast, and that's really fucking awesome. So a big shout out to those people that did. Thanks again for supporting, and as always, we'll see you next time.